Hi guys, so earlier in the week on WP2 you saw I put up a video asking for Games Masters for the Spud Club. These would be people who would run events with the guild where I'm unable to, so we actually have cool and exciting and interesting things going on that can even turn into content. Well, I'm really happy to say that people did step forward. We do have Games Masters now, and the ball is beginning to roll. So today I wanted to do a video for an announcement for you all to let you guys know about something very cool we're going to be doing that everyone is invited to, and I really do mean everyone, even if you don't necessarily play on the right region of Guild Wars 2, EU or NA. So there's a bit of a story to this, and it will explain the weird footage you should be seeing in the background here too. So let's jump straight in. Now the first thing I will say is you do not have to be, for any of this, a member of our guild, of the Spud Club. You don't have to have been anything at all. All you really need to do is click the Discord link that is in the description down there, which you don't need an account for and you don't need to install onto your PC. It just opens in a tab on your browser where you can get access to the chat and the information about when this event's happening. Alright, so what's the plan here? What's the idea? This is just the first of many events, hopefully, but I want to get a lot of people rallied around it so we can see whether we can really pull this kind of stuff off. So if you've been following the streams recently, you will have heard me talking about the way I've covered Guild Wars 2 and how it's different to how I covered Guild Wars 1. See, back with Guild Wars 1, I did these really extensive Let's Plays and Spotlight videos on basically every area of the game, and I really mean every area. All the PvE stuff, all the side quests, all the PvP stuff, all the end game stuff, all the festival stuff, and whatever, right? And I kind of regret that with my Guild Wars 2 coverage, I've not really done that full, almost encyclopedic run-through of everything. Our Let's Play series ended kind of early, and also there's a lot of these big maps that I may never have really ever done a proper video on. You know, the launch game released with 25 maps, and I've never done that good spotlight. So I kind of want to see how I can put out some content of that stuff. So what I want to do is basically record and catalog all the areas of Tyria. So what would happen is here on WP2, I would do immersive run-throughs of each of those maps where I'm getting full map completion on every place. So like Queensdale, I'm going through and getting map comp, but not just doing map comp for the sake of map comp on its own, but actually involving myself in the event, speaking to the NPCs, taking my time, buying some of the unique wares at the vendors, playing on a level appropriate character and so forth. So what I've got eventually on YouTube is a cool documentation, I suppose, of what it's like to really level through Guild Wars 2 as a new player. And this will be really cool for people interested in the game. This will be really cool for people who can't run Guild Wars 2 to look as graphically beautiful as I can, who haven't tweaked their user interface to turn off elements of it like ICM, like I have. And it will even be useful for me with future videos too, because what I'll have is all this content out there that I can download at any time back off of YouTube of all the different nuanced areas of the open world, right? So if I'm doing a video and I need to refer to something that happens in Fireheart Rise, currently that means I have to get in game, find the thing in Fireheart Rise, find the special event and do it. But in the future, I just have this catalog I can just pull and snip various bits of information from. So I'm excited about the idea of the series, all right? And I want to do it. So I was thinking, what can I do to really make this great? Well, I can run a really nice reshade preset to make it look very good. I can make sure that, again, I'm level appropriate, that I'm not running any ridiculous stuff. I can do it on a new character. I can make sure that I take my time with the stuff. But one thing struck me that would be really cool to make this even better, and that is player population. See, what I thought would be really cool is to give this real impression of what Guild Wars 2 was like even at its launch, okay? You guys remember right when the game came out and there were hundreds of people in Queensdale or whatever your respective starting race area was, and they were all in that little house, for example, in Shaymore, and they were all running out and there were just people everywhere doing all the events all over the place. I think it might be a bit of nostalgia goggles knowing how bad the culling was when Guild Wars 2 originally came out and how good it is now, but I thought that would be a really cool extra bit of flavor, right? So that's what this event is. I'm going to start trying to do this kind of series. Hopefully it will go somewhere, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that immersive tour of Queensdale, me playing through it, but I want to host it in a map, this video, where there's a ton of other people all making their own new characters. We've got a ton of us all starting right there and then beginning our adventures, and Queensdale is full. Not that Queensdale necessarily has low population, but I want what you're seeing in the background footage of this video, hopefully, where there's tons of people right there in that initial house and we're all running out and we're all in the original gear. We're not all, you know, flashing our ridiculous stuff. That's what the event is going to be. So if you like that idea, if you're thinking of starting a new toon or something something like that, you want a nice, explosive, awesome intro, then maybe this will be it for you. And if this goes well, what we'll do in the Spud Club is we'll host this for all the other maps as I filmed the other maps too. Some of you may have never experienced some of the later game maps in Guild Wars 2 with large amounts of people, with big zergs actually participating in some of these meta events that otherwise people might be skipping, actually talking to each other and interacting with one another in cool ways. This could be your chance to level a new character under a really cool new circumstance. So that's the event. Now, specifics, just so that you guys know, all right, this is going to be happening at 7 p.m, or starting at least. It will go on for a while as everybody plays and does their stuff, but it's going to start around 7 p.m. British Summer Time. That's BST, that's just 1 hour off from GMT. Hopefully you guys know your time zones. Again, if you look in the Discord, there's the link in the description, then you'll see it says easily there exactly what time it's going to be. So, but that's on Sunday, this coming Sunday. So we're all going to meet up then. Those of you who are quite shrewd will notice that's just before the stream usually starts. So just before the stream starts, we're going to do this event. And then once I've finished with my map completion and the event's still going on, we're going to kick off the stream and it should still be there and so forth. And that should be pretty cool to have a look at, and we can sort of have a bit of a talk about it. Now, if you're thinking, oh, this sounds like a good idea, but I'm not really interested or I don't have the capability, two things to point out, okay? Number one, you might think, all right, maybe I'm not going to be on the right region. Okay, this is going to get hosted on EU. But it doesn't actually matter whether you have an NA account or an EU account, because if you usually play NA, all you have to do is get a free-to-play account associated with a different email address, and boom, there you go. You can play on EU with us, you can hang out with us and do this event regardless. It doesn't matter if you're an EU player, you can get a new character. That's the other thing as well. Some people were saying, oh, I don't have a free character slot. Just get a free-to-play account. That works perfectly because you start from zero again, just like everybody did back at launch. You'll have the original beginner armor and so forth. It'll be fantastic. So really, there is no reason not to come if you think that it actually sounds cool. We're all going to meet up. We'll have a good chat about it. We'll have a good laugh, and hopefully we'll see as many people as possible. The idea is to cap the map, okay, with as many people as possible. So if you're even vaguely interested, I would love it if you guys came along. It'd be a bit of a shame if this flops. If it does, then you might not see this series be a thing. But I like the idea. I like the idea of cataloging all of Tyria, and we got lots of players running around, and it's just cool, and it's authentic, and it's real, actual exploration, talking to the NPCs and so forth. And now I guess all I got to do is wonder, what class do I want to play? Which is actually kind of an exciting decision. So thanks, guys. Check the description. Ask any comments down below, and I'll be sure to respond to them. Thanks very much to the Games Masters running this. I believe it's Twicky that's running this one. Hopefully you'll see a lot more cool stuff coming up in the future. I'm really glad that things are starting to get going, and hopefully you guys have fun. So I'll see you soon.